everybody, my name is Atris, and today we're playing Starcraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today we're playing it on Prion Terraces against a player named The Swarm. And as you can guess, they're going Zerg. And, with that name, what else can you do? So, started out with a 14 pylon. I said good luck. He says U2 in 9. I assume he meant mate. Tells me he's British of some type. And so I'm going to go 14 pylon, and then I'm going to go straight into 17 gateway, and then into my nexus. I tend to go gateway first against Zerg, simply so I can get the wall up and get a wall off zealot or adept. So like I said, I'm going to go 17 gateway, and then excuse me, I'm gonna send my worker to go scout, see what he's got, and then I'm gonna drop a 17 pylon or 17 nexus as well. So gateway 17, nexus 17, and then cybernetics core at 17, and then start making probes because I want my cybernetics core up as soon as possible. And oh, that's why I'm waiting. No wonder. Okay, I've got plenty of minerals. Why am I not building it? So there we go. I'll go with that. And now I'm going to start queuing up. I'm going to make double assimilators and hotkey both of those. So I noticed that he's got a quick second. I didn't see a third, but I also didn't see, I didn't actually go scout the third. So I'm just going to run around his base, see what's going on, and starting my probe production. And I'm going to make a wall off zealot here as soon as I can. So I've got 3 straight into the assimilator, and then the other 3 straight into the other assimilator, and then we're gonna go from there. I'm kind of slow on getting my assimilators out, because really once your cybernetics core is out, you want to be able to make your mothership core. I'm no far behind the mark, but it's not as fast as I want. So go around. I saw one Vespine geyser for him. I'm not sure what they're called for the Zerg, but anyway, I've got my warp gate going, I've got my mothership core going, and my second base is down. I'm flooding minerals a wee bit, so I'm going to drop 2 more gateways just so I can keep pumping out adepts for a wee bit of adept pressure. And I've got my mothership core out, defending the second base since there's no pylons there or anything yet. And I noticed he hasn't got his third. And I'm just going to send my wee probe back there and start building, start working again. I'm going to make a defensive pylon there because I definitely don't want to get supply blocked either. And just going to go scout around, make sure he's not doing any Zergling drops or anything like that. Starting another adept because you can pump out those adepts pretty quick. They don't take long. Going to drop another pylon. They're in my main base just so I have some room to expand, and just again, checking with my mothership core, just looking around, and got plenty of pylons going down, and adepts coming out. And I think I'm going to be making, I'm making another one right now, but I am supply blocked and then instantly not. Just keep pumping out those probes. I'm actually going to make a sentry to sort of negate some of that extra gas that I'm getting. And then we're going to go from there. So I'm going to send my adepts down, going to try and do some pressure. It's right at about 4 minutes, so that's a pretty good mark. I see his Zerglings coming in. They're definitely going to be doing the same. They're trying to get some pressure, but luckily my mothership goes there. Got both on overcharge both. Take care of those. That's why you want that zealot there to sort of finish that wall off. Going to lose the adept, but if that's what it takes to not lose any probes. I lost 1 probe, but that's okay. That was all in all a pretty good round. So I dropped 2 pylons, 2 more defensive pylons, changing all of them to gateways, and dropping double assimilators. And I'm gonna go and check them out a wee bit. I'm gonna keep scouting. The key to Zerg, if you're playing Protoss, well, if you're playing Terran or Zerg as well, I guess, you want to be constantly scouting. Once my adept is unable to get in there, you know, you want to use your sentries to make a Phoenix hallucination to get in there. So I'm dropping 3 more gateways, I'm sorry, and a Twilight Council. And with my my Adepts, I just want to take down as many of these workers as possible. Waited too long, I think. I should have ran a bit faster. Probably wouldn't have lost my other one. But all in all, I think it went pretty well. Seeing as like he had to adapt and make a few more Zerglings than he wanted, and now he has to replace all those probes. So I'm gonna make another pylon wall. Not so much a wall, but sort of just extra stuff for my mothership core to charge up. But I'm gonna go ahead and speed it up a wee bit. There we go. I'm gonna slow it down. So I've got my Twilight Council out, got Blink, and you know what, I am gonna I'll speed it up and then slow it back down when we get to anything interesting. This is a bit of a long game. Got my robotics facility going down, and 2 forges so I can start getting upgrades. Got all these warp gates. I'm gonna start warping in a bunch of Adepts, because I see his multiple Zerglings. I'm not gonna change from Adepts into anything else until he shows me otherwise. I'm sure he's got roaches at this point, simply because they always go roaches. But I've got enough Stalkers, I feel, to take care of his roaches. But I want the Adepts to be able to take care of the massive amount of Zerglings that I assume he's got. Blink's almost done. I'm gonna push out once I've got Blink. Drop in 6 more Adepts, starting at +1/+1, and getting an Immortal out. Now, I am going to be getting an Observer out too in a wee minute, but I moved out just in time to sort of catch these Zerglings and go ahead and slow it back down. But with these amount of roaches, I've got plenty of Stalkers to sort of take the damage, and I've got my sentries, so I figured I may as well use them. But I'll mow through those guys pretty quick. Let's go ahead and speed it up. And at this point, I'm feeling really confident at where I'm at this point of the game, and where he's at, at a massive detriment to me. I'm gonna warp in 6 more Stalkers, and notice that he's got his expansion, his 3rd base. So I'm gonna try and deny that, so I can keep an economical lead on him. Making 2 more Observers. Got my Immortals. I definitely want to bring them out, and I'm gonna check to see if he's got this other gold base, which I definitely don't want him to have too. And it looks like I caught that expansion just in time, but it's got a bunch of static defense, and I throw away too much here, far too much. I should have left a lot faster, but you can see him sort of flooding minerals, throwing away just a wee bit too much. Try and bring him down out of the static defense, and then fight him there. But that corrosive bile, is it corrosive bile? Whatever the shot that the Ravagers can shoot. I lose too much here for what I did. Because I lost my Immortal, I lost all of my Stalkers, and I didn't even kill all of his army. But I'm keeping the pressure on him. If you want to find something good about what happened, I'm definitely keeping the pressure on him, not letting him get too far ahead. Took his 3rd, which is worth it, just about, and I'm gonna be getting 4 more gateways down, starting +2/+2, and getting 2 more pylons, the Nexus, and double assimilators down, and getting rounds and rounds of army. Got Adepts coming out just because I do see the mass amount of Zerglings. Again, the key to the Zerg is finding out what they're making and adapt to it. Adepts for Zerglings, Blink Stalkers for and Immortals for Roaches and Ravagers, and Disruptors as well is always a good sign. It took me too long to get Disruptors, but I really felt like I was going to be able to shut this game down a lot sooner than I did. But weapons upgrades, defense upgrades, those are important as well. And warping in another round, and I see he's just got a wee army. I'm feeling really good again. Where I'm at, and where he's at. I do notice that he's taking the 3rd again, I definitely want to. Whoa. I definitely want to deny that, and especially now that I've got my third. For Zerg, they definitely want to stay one base ahead of their opponent. That's just the general rule for the Zerg. So I've got but I've got a gold base, and I will be moving to a fourth gold base here in a wee bit. But you can see the supply count in the right hand corner, and he is ahead of me, but obviously I don't know that in game. But get another immortal out. Gonna warp in another round. Well, as much as I can. You can see I've not got enough minerals. I've got way too much gas, which I can't do anything about. I mean, unless I make 15 observers, which I guess I could, but I'm not going to. But I've got 2-2 done, and I'm going up to 3-3, and that's going to give me a massive advantage. I'm just checking on his guy, and he's only at +1/+1, which is great for me. And I'm just warping in as much as I can, as fast as I can, and I'm going to send my my stokers. I want to go get the site for the map. I want to get that scouting done. Yeah, because I'm sending them to the Zelnaga towers. So I've got. All right, I've got +3/+3 coming in. I've got a bunch of saturation at all of my bases. Still warping in. Got a ton of stalkers and immortals, and I'm feeling pretty good about my position in the game, his position in the game. I noticed that he's dropping down a crap load of static defense, and that I'm just about supply blocked. But I noticed down there that he's killing my stalker, but I didn't really not really worried about it at this point. And as I said, I am just about supply blocked, so I'm about to move out. So I grab all my stuff, and get all these guys together, and I'm gonna move out, try and do some damage. Now I want to also control the amount of creep that my opponent's got. You definitely want to control that because all the Zerg units move faster on the creep. But I'm just about mined out on my first base. I'm gonna move all them to my. I am dropping a robotics bay to start making disruptors. I see that big ball of Zerg. I really want to get my disruptors out so I can start taking care of that. But I'm gonna drop my fourth, taking that fourth gold base or that second gold base on my side, and so I'll definitely keep having that economical advantage. Gonna take three workers, and send them down, and taking my 4 extras. I'm just about done with 3-3, which is great for me, and I've definitely got the fourth base. I'm definitely ahead economically than him, simply because I've denied his third base. But I do want to move out here in just a wee minute. I'm also getting the resonating glaives and +1 for my armor, and he attacked right when I wasn't looking. So all of my units inside are just blocked. So I lose. Well, I lose a lot more than I should. So it went distinctly from my advantage to his advantage really fast. My immortals are just standing there doing nothing for too long. And I lose. I can't run away from this army, so I've got to fight. But I've got plenty of minerals to sort of warp in, a ton more. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. My robotics bay is done, so I'm going to be warping in a couple of disruptors. Well, queuing up some disruptors. But I see that he, came and pressed the attack immediately, but I had enough defenses to sort of push him away. So I'm still just, warping in, trying to get that wee bit of advantage. We're pushing back and forth and back and forth, so it's a pretty good back and forth game. I feel like it definitely shouldn't have been. If you look at his supplies, he definitely should be able to catch up and roll over me. But he's definitely ahead of supply. But I've still got that economical advantage simply because I'm on 4 bases, and he's only had that third up for a wee minute. So I've got 2 disruptors, starting +2 for my Protoss armor, or my Protoss shields. He sees that I'm going for that 5th base, which he's going to come over and try and deny me, and I wasn't able to cancel it fast enough. But I have sight on it, and I really should have seen it sooner than I did, because I see his army disappear and then there they go. But I don't notice fast enough because, you know, I'm busy, you know, looking at my own army and warping in and all that stuff. But you can see he just went mass Zerglings, and that's not a problem for me. So I just sort of warp in right in the middle of them, and blink in, I'm sorry, right in the middle of them, sort of take all of them out, and I drop him down 30 supply while losing, you know, just a couple, which is really good for me. So I've got my army again. About to push out again, getting my 6th base, and just continuing to try and keep that, 5th base, trying to keep that advantage on him, moving up. I've got my disruptor, so I'm feeling pretty confident about this. And so I'm going to slow down here for a wee minute. I'm about to push out, but you can see he's still just about 50 supply ahead of me, and you know, he's got a good strong army, but I've got my disruptors, and he doesn't move anything out of the way, so I'm able to, you know, drop his supply down really quickly. And you know, they're not, all of them aren't the best shots, but definitely good enough to sort of even the field. But you know, I'm too stretched out. I need to get my immortals into play, and it just, I could have played it a lot cleaner, for sure. So I'm just gonna move around and you know, take out his big boys, and then just gonna try and hold here. But you can see that he's definitely about 50 ahead of me. You can see from his production tab, he's making a lot of units, and I don't have enough standing here to deal with it. But I am going to try and take out his static defense, just to give me a sort of an edge, able to keep him up into his own house, basically. Warping in another round of Stalkers, and he's getting back down in supply, but he takes out my Disruptors, which is not very good. I definitely could have used them, could have continued to use them. But it's still 20 minutes, and you know, it's pretty action-packed 20 minutes, and that +3/+3 is, you know, really helping me, because let's see what he's still at. He's at +2/+2, so this fight definitely could have gone his way, if I hadn't had gotten +3/+3. But you know, he's just slowly, he's making, you know, round after round of army, and I'm able to just, you know, take out that round, then recover a wee bit, and attack that round, recover again and again and again. So I notice he's almost completely mined out of this base, which tells me that he's definitely got a 4th or even a 5th at this point, because of the amount of workers, because of the amount of army that he's making. But again, you can see he's only making, you know, 3 at a time here, 4 at a time there, you know, 7, 8 Hydralisks, and you know, that's fine with me. But he definitely could have had a distinct advantage, but he just didn't capitalize on it like he probably could have. But I see that Zergling running away, so I'm thinking, okay, he's definitely got another base somewhere else, and just the amount of troop spread, I wish I had definitely scouted a wee bit more. But you know, that's just the way it goes. I'm gonna warp in 8 more zealots, 8 more stalkers, 2 more zealots, and you know, start to definitely take an advantage here. You can see from the supply count that I've definitely got the advantage here. He's spending all of his money, but not on, you know, army. So this is definitely the point where my economy just completely takes over. He says intense, and I say I do say something. I think I reply. So I'm checking that base, which would have been a natural one for me to take too. I should have taken that base for me. Would have given me some sight too. And I just say indeed with a wee smiley face, because you know, I'm just a good guy like that. But I do find his next base. I'm just going to take that out. I'll notice that he's got you know, just a bunch of Zerglings, which again you can see from his supply count that he's just about, he's just about done. All he's got pretty much is workers at this point. But I'm definitely, if all I made was zealots for the rest of the game, then I'm still in really good position, because this is the last bit of army that he's got, is these right here, and I can just keep warping in and warping in, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So point of this game is to definitely take an economical lead if you can. Definitely keep pressuring his your opponent's bases, especially on this map. You don't want them to get a third at the gold and a fourth, another gold as their fourth. So I'm just going to blink up here in a second. There we go. And just take out his army, and you can see from the supply count that that he's just about done. But at the same time, I don't know. He's got both gold bases just about completely mined out, and he had a fifth on the other side. So I'm thinking, at the same time, he's got to have a lot more. This game is not over, but he's not challenging me on any of his bases. So again, that's telling me that he doesn't have a whole lot. So I'm definitely trying to press the advantage. This is another base that I assume that he's taken, but I got to keep making sure that I micro at home, keeping my bases fully saturated here and there, and keep warping in. Just gonna warp in another full round of stalkers, and just move him into his base. And as soon as my zealots show up, he says GG, well played. I say it back to him, because it was a well fought game. I feel like he definitely had an advantage in certain places, because he just had so many more resources stockpiled up. Not sure why, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. Maybe he just wasn't able to focus as much as he needed to, or whatever. But it was a good game. Really enjoyed this one, and hope you guys enjoy it too. And if you do, click that like button. I'll have the build order down below, and if you want to, you can go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Ta!